Brooks Koepka trying to make history, trying to go back-to-back, almost 30 years since Curtis Strange did it. Comes into the final round in a four-way tied for the lead, and he says there's nobody more confident here than himself. Already 1 under par on the day as he gets to number 3, and he stuffs one in there. This one almost finds the bottom, and he came out of the gates early, Bob.
Really firing at the flags, the course setup kind of just let him freewheel it.
Speaking of someone freewheeling it and firing at flags, Tommy Fleetwood really out almost 2.5 hours ahead of our final group, which was Berger and Finau. This on the 18th hole, big high looping draw underneath the hole, and that would be underneath the cup and a putt at U.S. Open history. Trying to become the only player ever to shoot 62 in a U.S. Open. No.
Becomes the first guy with hockey hair to shoot 63.
Business up front, party in the back. 63 puts him in the clubhouse at 2 over par, and he would have to wait and see. Now, Phil Mickelson on Saturday. We'll get into this later on in the show. Mickelson here with lightning speed for Phil's category. Anyway, hits the ball while it's moving. Just not the impression Phil wants to make on the fans. Beef, we'll hear from Beef later, having a chuckle there. But this is the following day on the Sunday. Same 13th hole. Par effort for Phil. Middle of the cup, arms in the air, trying to put some light on a situation that surprisingly really fueled a lot of opinion and anger in social media. We'll jump into that later in the show. Now, Dustin Johnson started the day tied for the lead, playing along his good friend Brooks Koepka. And Bob, this was the story of the weekend for DJ.
Boy, it just like these little putts, these are almost, I would give these to you, Mark.
Well, that's because you're a kind and gentle man. However, for Dustin Johnson, we can't do that. He would make nothing all weekend. Brooks Koepka continues flag hunting. This on 16, and this is huge. Considering Tommy Fleetwood is in the clubhouse at 2 over par, he knocks this in to get to even, and now a bogey on the final hole will win the U.S. Open for Brooks Koepka. Comes to the final hole, really the only kind of miscue with an iron all day. Just gets that turning over a little. Hole high, just beyond hole high.
Just a little bounce off the grandstand.
Little pitch, a safe spot here. And again, only needs bogey. So he'll leave himself that for a par. And who would have thought 2.5 hours earlier that the missed putt for 62 would give Brooks Koepka 2 putts for the win from here. And that's exactly what happened. Brooks Koepka taps in. And he is your U.S. Open champion at 1 over par, joining Curtis Strange as the only player of the modern era to go back-to-back. History is made at Shinnecock Hills. Let's take a look at the final leaderboard. Everyone over par, no players at even or better. Koepka over Fleetwood, not the day for DJ. Patrick Reed with that huge early push. Great story there for Patrick Reed. Finau and Berger, really more a story about course setup than anything else. We'll get into it today.